Hello everybody, welcome to the channel where we will explore history, interesting events of the past, and some of the current day trending topics. In today's video we will explore an interesting world. Hope most of you like this topic and we will try to keep it interesting. Today, we're diving into the world of the Wild West, cowboys and legendary tale of a cowboy hero. And that is not all. We will also look into why Texas is so associated to cowboys and cowboy culture. Before we get into the video, as I show my favorite cowboy movie. You can also put yours in the comment section so we all set to venture into the cowboy world. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for getting more updates on the videos and topics that we would keep covering. The Wild West is a period of American history that spans from the mid-1800s to the early 1900s. During this time, the American West was still largely unsettled, and it was home to a diverse mix of people, including Native Americans, explorers, pioneers, miners, outlaws, and of course, cowboys. Cowboys were a central part of life in the Wild West and they both are integral to each other. They were skilled horsemen who herded cattle and other livestock across the vast open spaces of the West. They are known for their distinctive attire, which included a wide-brimmed hat, leather chaps, boots, and a bandana to protect their face from dust and sun. As unique as the cowboy attires, they carry a lasso, a revolver, and a knife. The cowboy way of life was tough and a demanding one as they spent long hours in the saddle, enduring harsh weather conditions and dangerous terrain. Cowboys faced the constant threat of rustlers, who would try to steal their cattle, and other outlaws who roamed in the West. But despite the challenges, cowboys were revered for their toughness, their independence, and their ability to survive in any harsh environment. Now getting into the food of cowboys, cowboys had to eat hearty, filling meals that would sustain them during long days of work on the range. Here are some of the popular foods of cowboys. Beef. As cowboys were primarily cattle herders, beef was staple in their diet. They cooked beef in various forms, such as steaks, roasts, stews, and jerky. And would also use the fat from beef to cook other foods, such as biscuits. Beans were a common food among cowboys because they were easy to store and cook. They would often eat the cooked beans with beef or on their own. There is a famous cowboy dish called chili con carne, which is a spicy stew made with beef, beans, and chili peppers. Biscuits were a popular food among cowboys because they were easy to make and transport. The biscuits would mostly baked in a Dutch oven over an open fire. And the biscuits are ate with gravy made from the fat of beef or sausage. That's one of the cowboy delicacy. As beef and buskets, coffee was an essential part of cowboy culture. Would start their day with a cup of coffee, and they would often drink it throughout the day. They would make coffee by boiling water over an open fire and adding coffee grounds. It was famously called cowboy coffee. Other foods that cowboys would eat included bacon, cornbread, potatoes, and canned fruits and vegetables. The food of cowboys was simple but hearty, reflecting the demands of their rugged and tough lifestyle. Now let's see one of the heroic story of cowboys in the history. One of the most famous cowboy heroic stories is that of Nat Love. Nat Love was born on June 2, 1854, in Davidson County, Tennessee, to parents who were enslaved. He was one of 6 children in his family. As a child, Love worked on a plantation where he tended to the livestock and learned how to ride and care for horses. After the Civil War ended and slavery was abolished, Love's family moved to the Kansas Territory, where he continued to work with horses and cattle. In the late 1870s, Love left Kansas and made his way to the American West, where he found work on various ranches and cattle drives. He quickly gained a reputation as a skilled cowboy and became known for his sharp shooting and horse riding abilities. Love's most famous feats of heroism took place in 1876, when he was working as a cowboy in Arizona. Love and a group of fellow cowboys were driving a herd of cattle when they were ambushed by a group of Apache warriors. The cowboys were outnumbered and outgunned, and many of them were killed or wounded in the attack. Love, however, refused to give up. He grabbed his rifle and mounted his horse, and rode straight into the midst of the Apache warriors. He fired his rifle repeatedly, killing several of the warriors and scattering the rest. Love's bravery allowed the surviving cowboys to regroup and drive the cattle to safety. Love's heroism earned him a reputation as one of the bravest cowboys in the West, and he went on to become a legend in his own time. He later wrote an autobiography, The Life and Adventures of Nat Love, better known in the cattle country as Deadwood Dick, which became a bestseller and further cemented his status as a cowboy hero. The cowboy way of life was immortalized in popular culture through books, movies, and music. Many famous cowboys became legends in their own time, such as Wild Bill Hickok, Jesse James, and Billy the Kid. The portrayal of the cowboy lifestyle in movies and popular culture is often romanticized and glorified. While there were certainly aspects of the cowboy way of life that were exciting and adventurous, it was also a tough and demanding way of life that was often characterized by long hours, hard work, and isolation. Cowboys would spend months at a time on the range, away from family and friends, and they would face numerous challenges, such as harsh weather conditions, dangerous terrain, and the constant threat of rustlers and other outlaws. Now, with all the info we saw about cowboys, now let's see why Texas is often associated to cowboy culture. Texas is closely associated with cowboy culture because it played a central role in the development of the American West. In the 1800s, Texas was a frontier region that was largely unsettled and undeveloped, with vast open spaces that were ideal for cattle grazing. As the cattle industry in Texas grew, so did the number of cowboys. Many of these cowboys were immigrants from Mexico and other parts of the Southwest, who brought with them their own traditions and cultural practices. Over time, a distinct cowboy culture emerged in Texas, which was characterized by a love of the outdoors, a strong work ethic, and a sense of independence and self-reliance. The romanticized image of the cowboy also became popularized through literature and movies, which helped to cement the cowboy as an enduring symbol of the American West. Today, Texas continues to be closely associated with cowboy culture, with rodeos, Western-themed attractions, and cowboy-themed events drawing visitors from all over the world. Despite its popularity in popular culture, the Wild West and cowboy way of life began to fade by the early 1900s as the West became more settled and industrialized. Today, the cowboy spirit lives on in rodeos, Western wear, and in the hearts of those who still admire the grit and determination of the cowboys who once roamed the Wild West. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the Wild West and cowboy culture. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one.